Good morning, guys. This is your girl, Truth Slayer. I hope you guys are having a great morning. Peace and blessings upon you. What we're going to do real quick, a quick synopsis. It's June the 25th, and I am going to tell you what is currently dominating the news, the real news. Just a moment ago, right before I went on, there was a breaking news. The Justice Department sues Georgia over voting rights. The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, U.S. Attorney, said that the Department of Justice will be devoting new resources to ensure that the rights of Black and Brown people have access to the vote. It also said the lawsuit is the first of many steps to ensure every American, despite race or color or religion, are entitled to civil rights, that their civil rights are protected as permitted by the law. According to federal law, they will enforce the law that anyone that receives threats or intimidations to try to prevent them from voting, they will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Highlight the spot. The Attorney General said the Georgia election laws intended to deny or abridge voting rights on account of race or color. This is huge. This story that just broke with Attorney General Merrick Garland is huge because there have been at least 11 states that have enacted laws with voting. So this is the huge. You guys might want to pay attention to that. That is just broke within the last 5-10 minutes. Our next story on your real news. There was an update about 2.5 hours ago on the collapsed condo building in Surfside, Florida. The new numbers are: there are 4 dead, 120 accounted for, and up to 159 unaccounted for. They're bringing in more resources because they expect to find more people alive. They have to be very careful when going in the building or trying to get through the rubble because they're facing obstacles. For one, the structure of the building is not sound. Secondly, there are fires breaking out. But to be clear, this is a search and rescue operation that's underway. This is not a recovery of bodies. This is still an ongoing search and rescue operation. Our next news will be: today is the day that former officer Derek Chauvin gets sentenced. The prosecutors are seeking 30 years. His attorneys are asking for probation with time served or a reduced sentence. Now, going by federal guidelines, the judge will look at him and see that he's never done it. He's a first-time offender. So, unlikely, he will not get the 30 years. According to political wonks analysts, they're saying something around 10 years, possibly. Now, that is to the people with the big brains, the political analysts, that's what they're saying. But today is the day that former disgraced Officer Derek Chauvin, gets sentenced. As you guys remember, he's the officer that had his knee on George Floyd's neck that led to the protests that happened to go all over the world. It really changed the landscape. Black Lives Matter became more prominent. They already were an organization, but I think it shined a light on them worldwide. I know their merchandise and everything skyrocketed at that time from all over the country as well as the world. We watched it in real time. Now, if anything has broken since then, since this announcement, please make sure you put it in the comments. This brief right here, this is just your real news. Not your YouTube news, but your real news that's currently dominating the headlines across all of the networks. Sometimes people do not watch the news, but this right here will at least let you know what's going on in a short, condensed way, and you may choose to see what's going on. A lot of people don't want to watch the news because there's so much gloom and doom. But your girl, Truth Slayer, I have you covered. And I will be coming back as things break. I appreciate you for coming through and supporting this new news broadcast. Like I said, your real news from your one and only girl, Truth Slayer, slanted on June the 25th. This fabulous Friday. Oh, before I go, I do expect, just between us, I do expect something will come out, because usually on the political scene or even in the corporate world, whenever there's something that the news, they'll put it out on Friday. Usually something that, that's maybe unfavorable, they'll usually air it on Friday so that, it can die down. Hi, boo. My 2 cents. Your girl, Truth Slayer, your local news woman out here. Hey, night, Raven. You guys make sure you thumbs up this. But like I said, this is not your YouTube news. This is your real news for people that may not want to watch the news. Just giving you a little brief clip of what's going on across every network. Not one particular one. I scan all networks. This is unbiased news, regardless of my beliefs or what I think, my opinion. I'm giving it to you, just what comes out. You make your own opinion, judgment. What I will be watching closely today is that case, the sentencing with former disgraced officer Derek Chauvin, to see what his sentence will be after George Floyd's death. I will be watching that. I will, of course, be keeping you abreast on what's going on in Surfside, Florida. That's tragic. The numbers, I'll keep you on that. And, there was one little thing. I forgot to mention this. I'm sorry. I don't know how I forgot it. A day or two, was it yesterday, 2 days ago? The Democrats, and the GOP, Republicans, they have reached a bipartisan agreement on an infrastructure bill. When you say, whoa, why infrastructure? Well, infrastructure, of course, thank you much. Infrastructure, they help fix some of these dilapidated roads, bridges. I want to say that the last time one has been, an infrastructure bill has been through Congress, it's probably about 40 years. Now, we don't know quite what exactly the details, all of the intricacies that's in the bill. Usually when there's a bill, there's always what you call little sweeteners. Sweeteners are things like, for example, if you're a senator from, say, Illinois, you may say, well, I only vote if you build such and such bridge here in Illinois. Those are your sweeteners. We don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll keep my eye on that. But thank you guys for coming in with your girl, your news, real news, the news lady. You guys have an awesome day, and I will be back and forth if something breaks. If you find out something, please make sure that you leave it in the comment section. But my nose will be all over. Thank you guys. Have a great Friday, Fabulous Friday.